going to go ahead and get this call started. We're gonna open up with the first three of our seven captains on the line will be Justin Fields, Wyatt Davis, and Josh Myers. But to open things up, I'm going to bring Coach Ryan Day on board, who just wants to make a few comments right now about our captains and about our leaders. We're not going to take questions with him because we want today to really be about these captains, but he does want to say hello to everybody. We will come back on Thursday with an extended conference call with Coach Dave. But in the meantime, I'm going to open up the floor and give it to Coach Dave for a few comments. Coach?
Thanks, Jerry. How's everybody doing out there? Good to get reconnected with everybody here. It's been a while since we've spoken, so just wanted to start off here with just an update on our student athletes' health. Our players and coaches, I think, have been doing an excellent job here, taking care of themselves and taking care of their health over the past few months. We're holding each other accountable because we're all in this thing together. And I think our testing policy and procedures that our medical staff, our training staff, sports performance, and our administration have implemented here has allowed our players and our staff and our coaches, really the confidence to know that we're doing everything we can to create the safest environment possible when we walk into the Woody every day. And the same group has worked around the clock. I mean, they've been tirelessly working here to create the protocols and procedures for training camp that starts this week. But the only way that any of this is possible is because of the tremendous leadership of our team and our upperclassmen. Their ability, really over these past months to again, like I said, hold each other accountable, to communicate, share their experiences during this time has been awesome to see and really inspiring for our staff to watch, whether it was on virtual calls, whether it was in person, spread out and spaced out. The hardest part, I think, for this team over these past few months and certainly the last couple of weeks, just been the unknowns. But I promise you, our leadership has kept this team hungry, and I think we're training right now at a championship level. Really cool to see. Yesterday, our team voted for the captains of the 2020 season. I think this group is really impressive in so many areas, and really, when you look at their accomplishments and their young careers as a group, it's already really long. And like I said, very impressive. As a coaching staff, we're very proud to announce the 2020 captains of the Ohio State University Buckeyes this season. Josh Myers, Jonathan Cooper, Huff Borland, Justin Fields, Wyatt Davis, Justin Hilliard, and Sean Wade. I also wanted to let you guys know that C.J. Saunders was recently, unfortunately, informed that his waiver was denied to play this season. So our plan for him is for him to join our staff here this season, some sort of capacity. He's got coaching in his blood, and he wants to be a part of it this season. So I just want to make sure, publicly, we all thank CJ for everything he's done for our program. He's meant a lot to us, and we're certainly disappointed he can't play this season, but we're excited he is still part of a program this year. So I'm looking forward to catching up with all you guys later in the week as we start the preseason camp, and that's all I got. But very proud to name these captains today, and I'll turn it back over to you, Jerry.
Great. Thank you so much, Coach. And if I could ask all the media members and everyone on the call to please mute their phones. At this time, I am going to ask Josh Myers and Wyatt Davis and also Justin Fields. You guys can go ahead and unmute your phones. And we're going to go ahead and open up the floor, the call rather, for questions. First question comes from Nathan Baird from Cleveland.com with Tony Girdman on deck. Nathan?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
First up for Justin, obviously Minnesota Rashad Bateman this morning opted out of the 2020 season, and it's something that we're seeing more players do across the country. And people have just wondered, players like yourself in the position to potentially be drafted high, that's something you might have to grapple with. Is it something that you've considered, and where do you stand on that right now?
I really feel like people have different situations and whether they should opt out or not. some people's families might be as financially stable as others. But me growing up as a kid, I've always been a competitor. I've always loved to play football, and me just growing up with my family, I just never really needed anything. I think my family has provided me with everything that I've needed. So I mean, getting to the money as fast as I can isn't really a priority for me. Just playing with my teammates and grinding every day with Coach Nick and just during workouts and just plays and stuff like that. That's what I'm cherishing the most right now. So kind of just working with them, and really just looking forward to the season. But I'm just trying to stay as optimistic as possible right now. But I mean, really, as to opting out, I mean, I can see where those guys are coming from, but I necessarily haven't really thought of it yet. So, yeah.
And just curious, the Pac-12 last year, the players from the Pac-12 last week, a lot coming out about some of the reforms that they're asking for and kind of a movement that's growing there. Is this something that yourself or the team has taken notice of, and just what are your thoughts on that?
I'm finally glad to see different athletes around the country trying to come together and just have a voice for college athletes. So I am glad of seeing that. But a few of the guys have talked about kind of getting our own thing together in the Big Ten, so we can have a voice like they're doing. But I definitely agree with what they're doing.
Oh, sorry about that. There we go. All right.
Hey, can we answer a call, please?
Thank you very much.
Hey, will everybody please mute their phones, please?
See ya.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Geez.
But just the main idea to answer your question. I'm just glad to see the different athletes just having a voice.
Just real quick, you said that a few guys have talked about getting their own team together in the Big Ten. Who do you mean by that?
I mean, not really getting it together. We kind of just been talking about the different situations we've been putting in. I wouldn't say it's serious right now, but I mean, we've not necessarily been like trying to get a group together, but we've been talking like, what if we got this group together? But I wouldn't say it's that big of a deal right now. So I don't want you guys to just blow that out of proportion, saying we're just gonna ask for a bunch of money and opt out or nothing like that. But I know that there have been a couple of guys around the Big Ten talking about doing something similar, but not to that extent. So yeah.
All right, next up, Tony Girdman from Buckeye Scoop with Austin Ward on deck. Tony?
Justin, you've mentioned that opting out isn't really what you're looking for, and it's the grind that you're enjoying. So with all of that in mind, then, what's it like to be named a captain after just being here a little over a year?
It's just a blessing, really. Just all that I've been through from the past couple of years, from going to Georgia to coming here, getting introduced to new teammates, all of my teammates welcoming me here. So it's really just been a blessing. And I know how big of a deal it is to be selected captain by my teammates here at Ohio State. So it's something that I will be forever grateful for.
And then I guess a quick question for Josh. Josh, you being the center, you know Justin pretty well. What makes him what do you think will make him a good captain?
Yeah. There are countless things I think that make Justin a good captain. I think he's very approachable. To young guys who first get here, it can be an intimidating thing. Justin was a Heisman finalist last year. And so it can be intimidating trying to start a relationship like that and having that relationship with someone like Justin as a young guy. I think just how approachable he is and how open he is to talk to anybody and teach anybody anything, regardless of who they are or where they are in the program, I think is huge for him. And being a great captain. And then another thing that I think is huge is just his ability to lead. He just is a natural, some people have it, some people don't. He has just a natural ability to lead other people. And so it comes down to so many things. But yeah, those are some of the important ones. And just always has confidence in what he's doing and is always trying to help people. So, I mean, in my eyes, those are the biggest things that he does.
Thank you.
Next up, Austin Ward from Lettermen Row with Bill Rabinowitz on deck. Austin?
Hey, Justin. There was so much talk going into the spring about being year 2 of working with Coach Day and how big that jump could be for you. And nothing has really gone the way you guys have planned, obviously. What have you been trying to do when you haven't had, those 12 practices or the normal sort of summer that you'd have to develop? How have you been working to stay on track there for that big leap?
Yeah, so when I was at home, me and Coach Day would hop on Zoom meetings and just watch film of the upcoming opponents. But now since we don't really have a schedule, we don't know who our opponents are going to be. So, of course, we're also looking forward to that and just kind of getting our schedule out and just seeing who our opponents are going to be. But, I think that, Coach Day and Coach Corey, they've done a good job with not only myself, but with the other quarterbacks who have came in the spring. CJ and Jack, they didn't really get to practice or experience the playbook and actually get those live reps. But I think they've been doing really all that they can to teach the young guys everything they need to learn. And as far as myself, I've just been trying to, just improve every part of my game in terms of knowing the defense, knowing what we're supposed to do, and just kind of just really just going back to the basics and kind of just doing what I usually do before every season, and that's just get better with the basic stuff, really. So that's what my main focus has been.
And Wyatt, when you made your decision to come back for another year, I'm sure that you expected it to be a lot more normal than this. What is it like for a player in your situation to not know what the schedule is going to be like, when you might start, how practice will look? From a player, what is it like dealing with all this uncertainty right now?
It's just kind of one of those things. I mean, obviously, it's such the circumstances that we're in right now, but lately I've just been taking it one day at a time because, like Justin said earlier, I'm very optimistic for this season that happened as well, and you can really only take it one day at a time because if you really just start thinking about it too much, it starts consuming your mind, you start getting negative. But, I've just been thinking very positive about it. Ohio State, we've done a great job of monitoring our guys and creating a safe working environment. So, you just got to hope that every other school is doing the same. And if they are, then I'm very optimistic that this season will happen.
Thanks, guys.
Next up, Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch with Dave Biddle on deck. Bill?
Yeah, this is for all three of you. A little bit along the lines of what Austin just asked, but what's your level of concern about playing the season given the pandemic in terms of safety, and also your level of confidence that there will be a season in some form?
I can start off with this. This is Josh Myers. I feel pretty strongly about this. And if the question didn't come up, then I was going to say it at the end of this call anyways. But I think my level of comfort and our safety is really high. I think Ohio State there's nothing more that our coaches and trainers and our staff can do to keep us safe. I mean, I can't say enough about what they're doing. And I would say that my level of concern for safety is small. I'm not concerned. I think that I personally am confident that we're going to have a season as well. And I think I really wanted to say this. I think that with everyone, restaurants are open, bars are open, all these other places are open, and people have the freedom to do those things they want to do, which really are minuscule probably in the importance of their lives. And I just feel like if people, our age or any age can do those type of things, then I strongly feel like if I want to, I should have the choice to play college football season. And I also feel like it's a safer environment, even being around my teammates and being in the facility and staying where it's clean and safe. I think that's a safer environment than, being somewhere else or, going to restaurants and stuff like that. So that's how that I just wanted to voice my opinion on that. And I just strongly believe that. And I think I have all the faith in the world in our coaches and trainers that they'll keep us safe all the way through this thing. So that's my 2 cents on that.
This is Justin. My take on this, I definitely have to agree with Josh in terms of our faculty and staff are doing a great job in terms of just hammering away and just keep reminding us about wearing a mask and staying socially distant. So I don't really have a concern about what's going on here at Ohio State necessarily, but my only concerns that pop up in my head are what are they doing at other schools, and should there be a base procedure that schools have to go through or something like that. And really I think one of the biggest concerns that are going around the team is what happens when all of the students come back to campus and students aren't really worried about a season. They're doing what they would usually do if this pandemic wasn't going on. So I think there's a lot of things in this situation that we can't control, but I think the things that we're doing now that we can control, we're doing the most of it, and I think we're doing a great job at just staying socially distant, wearing a mask, and just doing all of the little things and trying to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So I just think really just doing our part and doing the stuff that we can control. I think that's the best thing that I've seen from Ohio State. But in terms of having a season, how confident I am, I don't think anybody knows if we're going to have a season or not. I think that's going to just be based off the next couple of weeks or next 3 weeks, month, or however long. So I just think there's a lot of variables that go into that when determining that.
Yeah, this is Wyatt here, and I agree with everything that Justin and Josh both said. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. Being optimistic, that's a word that's been being thrown around a lot, just because that's the only thing you can do. I don't know. No one knows when stuff is going to get back to normal. All you can do is just be positive and have a good attitude about things. And like I said earlier, I've been approaching workouts and everything as if as if times were normal right now. So Ohio State's been doing their part. We've been doing our part, and we just gotta be positive about what the outcome will be, and hope everyone else is doing their part.
What have been your conversations with your parents about this? How concerned or not concerned are they?
Is this for me or for everyone?
Any of you?
My mom, as far as my parents, they're very they want a season to happen. I mean, obviously at the same time, this whole pandemic around, they just want to make sure it's a safe environment. And my parents, as far as like with workouts and we're about to start up, camp soon. They feel very good about how Ohio State's been handling it. I mean, we get tested twice a week. You have to wear a mask in the facility. So they feel very optimistic as well.
Thanks, Wyatt.
I talked to my parents. This is Justin, by the way, but I talked to my parents a little bit about it, and they really just give me they really just put me in the driver's seat for this situation. So I think that they're gonna agree with whatever I think, because I think that I'm getting kind of confused right now, but they know what's best for me, and they trust me that I'm gonna make the best decision for myself. So I just think with everything that's going on here at Ohio State, we're safe at Ohio State, and I think that all of our players feel safe at Ohio State with resuming training camp and workouts and stuff like that. But again, the big question is what are other schools doing But in terms of our parents, I think they feel comfortable with us practicing and resuming workouts and doing all that stuff here.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, my parents, I think, are kind of similar situation, just letting me handle it, and having faith and trusting that I'm doing it the right way. It's kind of weird because it's almost like it's a weird situation because it's like I feel like I worry about them more than they worry about me with this thing, which is weird, but just kind of how it is. But I think they're totally comfortable with, Ohio State and everything we've been doing so far and the safety precautions.
Thanks, Josh.
Next up, Dave Biddle from 24/7 Sports with Doug Lesmerises on deck. Dave?
Thanks, Jerry. My first question is for Justin. Justin, such a great year for you guys last year, both you personally and the team. I know you guys fell just short of your ultimate goals, but Justin, what are your goals and expectations for this season, both team-wise and personal?
Of course, team-wise, we want to first start off with beating the team up north and winning a Big Ten championship. Then we want to go on, win the first playoff game, and win the national championship. So I think those are what the team's focused on most right now. And really, we're just getting better each and every day, and treating every day like it's our last day. So I think everybody's just working as hard as possible and talking about goals personally. I want to show everybody that I'm the best quarterback in the nation. Of course, I want to win the Heisman and do all of that stuff. But really, the team comes first. So if none of that happens, I'm fine with the national championship trophy sitting in the front of the Woody. So yeah.
Thanks, Justin. My last question is for Josh. Josh, there has been a lot of talk this offseason about how great this offensive line can be. What are your guys' expectations for this O-line? Just how great do you guys think you can be this year?
Yeah, with high expectations definitely comes a lot of responsibility and a lot of work. And I think that our guys have been doing that at a high level. I mean, there's a ton of competition at the left guard spot and the right tackle spot. So all those guys are looking good. If you want me to be honest, I don't think we can put a wrong person in there. I think we'll be successful no matter who we put in there, which is definitely the mark of a really good offensive line. And I mean, in terms of goals for our offensive line, I think last year shows proof that it should always be the Joe Moore Award for the best offensive line in the country, right? Last year, a lot of people were talking about our offensive line like it was going to be a liability and could be the downfall of the team and the weakest unit on the team. There was a lot of talk of stuff like that about our offensive line. And we, of course, ended up being finalists for the Joe Moore Award last season. So I think that just goes to show that at Ohio State, the goal for the offensive line every year should be to win the Joe Moore Award.
Thanks, Josh.
Next up, Doug Lesmerises from Cleveland.com with Spencer Holbrook on deck. Doug?
Thanks, guys. Maybe start with Wyatt on this one, but all three of you can answer. With you guys getting ready for the start of preseason camp, how do you feel physically right now? Do you think that are you close to where you normally would be getting ready for camp to start, or because of everything that's happened, do you feel like you're behind a little bit? And then the follow-up to that is, do you think you'll be able to get to sort of the normal level of performance by the time a season does start, or is that just going to be hard to do in this world?
No, me personally, I mean, I feel like I'm, where I'm always at during this time. I mean, really during the whole pandemic, and being back in California for that long, I really took it a matter upon myself personally during that time, especially when no one's watching you, to, do all the workouts that our coaches were sending us during that time. And I just stayed on top of it. I found places where I could work out and get that work in. And then, as soon as we got the word to come back, I came back and started working out early. And, as of right now, I'm feeling very good going into camp, and, I'm ready to play some football.
Justin, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, right now. So, I mean, I think all of us and I think I can speak for all of us. I'm not sure, but I think we all see the opportunity we have on the table in terms of coming back and being able to play and compete for a national championship. So not only does that Clemson last year kind of fuel us as a team, but just also for guys like me, Josh, and Wyatt. I mean, I think growing up as a kid, our dream has always been to play in the NFL. So kind of just seeing the opportunity we have right now has just made us work so much harder this off season. So I think me personally, I've been working like crazy this off season. I've totally switched up my diet and stuff like that. So just doing the little things and just kind of just doing as much as possible just to become a better player each and every day. So I feel great right now. My body feels great. And I'm ready to go, just like Wyatt said.
Yep, I can agree with both of them on that, big time. I will say one thing that I found myself doing during quarantine. I was a lot more conscious of what I ate, because in terms of the difficulty of workouts, I think it's hard to match what Coach Mick does anywhere, regardless of who you're working with. I think Coach Mick is the best strength coach in the country, and to match that is hard. But I will agree, coupling with really watching what I ate and eating healthy and being a lot more conscious of that, and then just working as hard as I possibly could on my own. I agree. I feel good. I feel ready to go, and I'm just excited to get this thing rolling.
And then another quick one, maybe start with Josh on this one. I know you guys don't control this, but the Big Ten schedule is going to come out soon. Would you guys like to see the Ohio State-Michigan game moved up to maybe increase the chances of it being played? Or would you rather have it stay with its traditional spot at the end of the regular season? Josh first.
Yeah, that's a tough question. With the uncertainty of the season, right now I'm more concerned about playing them at all in general. I don't know if that necessarily came out right, because I think we will play them regardless of where they are on the schedule. But I'm less concerned with it now, given the circumstances. Of course, with the tradition of the game, I would love for it to be, the last game of the season. And I'd also love to have a normal college football schedule too. I'd love to play at Oregon. So there are a lot of things that are different about this year. And I think just letting that go for now and accepting the situation as it is and just being ready to play any day.
This is Justin, but to be honest, I don't really care when we play the team up north. I just want to play them, and my answer is simple and really just beat the brakes off them for us. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with Justin. It really doesn't matter to me when we play. Obviously that, like Josh was saying, the tradition of that game is very important to us. But it doesn't matter. And if it's the first game on the schedule, so be it. We're gonna beat the brakes off.
Thank you, guys.
Next up on the call, and these will be the last questions for our three offensive guys. Up next is Spencer Holbrook from Lettermen Row. Spencer?
Yeah, Josh and Wyatt both. What changes now for you guys now that you guys are captains? Because last year you guys seemed like the leaders of the offensive line alongside a couple of those seniors, but you guys really led the unit. So I guess, is it just a title, or really what changes now for you guys as far as a leadership role?
Josh, you want me to
I
start?
think, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I obviously with last year, this is me personally speaking. Josh, with the position he is, you have to be a leader to play center, God, and he was a great leader for us this past season, and he was just making the game so much easier to play. But now with this role of being a captain, it definitely holds a higher expectation for us. I mean, even though last year when we weren't captains, we were always trying to lead younger guys to build them up. And now with that role, I feel like, me personally, we have to expand our leadership larger than just the offensive line and really to the whole team. And with being a captain at Ohio State, it comes with great responsibility. And now the expectation of always doing things right is at an all-time high.
Yeah, Wyatt, you actually took word for word what I was going to say when I said that our leadership. I was going to say that our leadership needs to expand to more than just the offensive line, which it did some last year, but yeah, couldn't agree more with Wyatt on that. I think the biggest part of it is just the expansion of our leadership role, which I think we've both been doing since the latter half of last season and into the winter and spring and then the quarantine. But yeah, just expanding our leadership for sure, I think is the biggest part of it.
And then for Justin, when did you first feel comfortable enough being like a captain for this football team? Because you came in and Coach Day talked about how you needed to earn the respect of the locker room and be able to lead the guys. But when did you finally feel that? Was it mid-season? Was it before the season started? Was it in spring camp? Like, when did that moment happen?
I think I was ready to be a captain last year, but we had that rule where underclassmen couldn't be captains, and Coach Day informed me of that. So Coach Day, I think me and Coach Day were on the same page. I think I was at that leadership role, and I was affecting the team in a leadership kind of way, but I just have that title. So, I mean, just because I don't have that title doesn't mean I can't still be a leader on the team. So I just, took my role, and I just tried to lead the team as much as possible without really being a so-called team captain or just having that title name.
Thanks, guys.